Welcome back to 30 Days of Mania, WrestleMania 10. We're a third of the way through. And as you can hear, Bret Hart's music, the era of Hogan is over.
I can't even hear it, so I doubt that they can hear it. It's fun. Oh, you know what it sounds like.
Okay, so the opening match is Bret Hart versus Owen Hart.
You're not gonna
brother versus
say
brother.
anything about the
What?
Singing first?
The singing? Okay, we'll do the singing. The show opened.
Are we doing that?
Yeah, sure. The show opened with big gold coins spinning around, and then dissipating into pixels and cheesy 90s graphics.
Yeah.
And we had Little Richard came out and did the and he was between every couple of lines he go
It sounded like a parody of Michael Jackson. Seriously.
And he was really softly like it's like really weird.
It sounded like Lily.
A little bit. It sounded like a cat going. And then the choir kicked in. There was this huge choir around the whole ring, which looked pretty cool with the lighting and stuff, and they had like red gowns on. And then they kind of sang, they're like, oh, and then there's a bit more like gospel kind of thing there.
Was music this time?
And then he kicked in and kind of was singing a bit more clearly, so that was cool.
It was actually good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was good. And Little Richard's a big name, so another cool addition to the opening song. Then we have Bret versus Owen, brother versus brother. One of my favourite matches ever. Just
it was pretty great.
So good. I mean, just
a
masterclass in wrestling. Just a great wrestling match.
What's going on now?
That's Lex Luger. We didn't watch Lex Luger's match. We're just gonna watch this now, I guess. Oh, she's just shaking his hands. Yeah. So Owen beat Bret, and I love the way that Owen won as well. It was he just kind of sneaked the win out of nowhere, and it was just. The match was just perfect. They just built the crowd up, then brought them back down, built them up, brought them back down. And the wrestling was great, some amazing moves, and Owen got over as a heel, Bret got over as a face, and it was just a brilliant match. One of my all-time favourites. Then, later on in the show, we didn't watch this one, but Yokozuna, who won the title back off Hogan after WrestleMania 9, he defended the title against Lex Luger, and he ended up winning that. And then later on in the main event, it was Bret wrestling again for the title against Yokozuna, so both of those guys wrestled twice. Before we get to that though, the classic, infamous, well, the famous, not infamous, ladder match between Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon. What's the matter with you? You look really confused.
It's gathering.
Well, they're just celebrating the Bret.
I didn't look confused, I'm shocked at the woman in pink.
Alright. Yeah, everyone's coming down to celebrate, because it's a big moment, I think. This was really the as I said, the end of the Hogan era, moving on to the era of the wrestler, in my opinion.
He wasn't in it.
No, he's gone by this point. So obviously Bret beat Yokozuna at the end, and everyone's celebrating. You got Razor Ramon, Macho Man, Randy Savage, everyone down there, all the faces.
So is this going to be like the music we'll have in the background for the next 10 WrestleManias?
No, not by a long shot.
We didn't watch Undertaker.
No, he wasn't on this one.
What?
This is one of the 2 WrestleManias he missed throughout his whole career. He wasn't at 10 or 16. I'm not sure why. Oh, and Owen, we're just watching this now. I haven't actually seen this match before. Owen coming down. So it's kind of cool because Bret beat Yokozuna, but Owen beat him earlier on. And I really like that. I like the dynamic of that. And of course, Owen would go on to feud with Bret for the WWF title for a big chunk of this year.
Of course.
Culminating, I think, in the cage match at SummerSlam, which is one of my favourite matches ever. Probably my favourite cage match ever. Just brilliant match. So Shawn Michaels versus Razor Ramon ladder match, classic. Everyone talks about it. It's like the first ladder match. It wasn't really the first ladder match, but it was the first ladder match on a pay-per-view on a big show, and it really, Shawn was made out to be the innovator of that match, and it was a fantastic match. It's just brilliant. But yeah, any thoughts you want to add on the ladder match?
Shawn mooned.
Oh yeah, he got his pants pulled down and did an elbow drop with his pants round his...
And the crowd went nuts.
Yeah, especially the female.
And it was mainly women screaming, seriously.
Yeah.
And I thought for a second that when he jumps off the ladder and at the top of the ladder, that maybe that was the tallest ladder or whatever that he was talking about, because it seems pretty high. But Luke says that he jumps off a much taller ladder in the later.
Oh, you didn't. You didn't really explain that well. What you meant was you've seen.
I'm sorry, I'm.
No, it's
totally
okay.
out of it.
I'll say that there's a documentary where Shawn was talking about jumping off the ladder at WrestleMania 22, and he's like, when he got up there, he's like, "This is a lot higher than I thought it was." And you've seen that, and you thought it was that, but it was 22, which you'll see is a much bigger ladder. Insane! I can't wait to see that again. Anyway, yeah, brilliant match. Loved it. The finish is just genius, where Shawn gets pushed off the ladder, gets crotched on the ropes perfectly, and then twists his leg in between the ropes. Just great drama, great finish. So yeah, this is probably the only the first WrestleMania to have two amazing matches on it. I think up until now it's really just been only the one really great match. But this had two.
So the two amazing matches. By that you mean
Bret and Owen and the ladder match.
Okay, yeah. You didn't mean the last one.
No,
that was actually pretty good.
The main event.
Yokozuna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the main event, Bret versus Yokozuna. Something you just never see these days is people selling. Bret coming out and he's still selling his knee because he injured it during the Owen match, and Owen was really working over his knee.
I didn't see that during the match though.
No, he did. He was consciously holding his knee at times, very subtly and stuff. But Bret's always someone who really just got the psychology and the realism and wanted to make it as real as possible, so he was really selling the leg during that match. Yokozuna got the early advantage and then, you know, was beating down Bret, and I actually quite enjoyed it. It was much better than the WrestleMania 9 match, I thought. And, you know, there was more of Yokozuna bumping around and taking
more
stuff.
Of him doing anything.
Yeah, I mean there were slow points obviously, but it was, yeah, I really actually quite liked this match. It wasn't great or anything, but it was a lot better than 9, so a bit of a surprise.
It's surprising that someone of that size would be better than really fit people like Batista. I was saying that. He was way better than Batista. I would rather watch 10 matches of him in a row, half an hour each, than watch another match with Batista. But I have to watch another match with Batista live.
Yeah. Let's just hope that Del Rio breaks his arm at Elimination Chamber. How sweet would that be? Well, at this point, the Elimination Chamber has already happened by the time this video goes out. But there you go. We filmed this before in February. One random thing I wanted to mention was that when Razor Ramon came out, you were like, "It looks like Pierce Brosnan," and I laughed and thought, "Yeah, she's right. Actually, it does actually look quite."
From afar, at least.
Yeah.
And in the pixelated version we're watching.
It's not pixels, it's not. It's just, you know, standard definition footage on a 50-inch TV. Never gonna look great.
Almost looks like VHS.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
I said almost.
Almost. Wow.
Looks like a half and half between that and DVD. Ish.
Roddy Piper was a special guest referee. Got a huge pop. I didn't even know about that. Again, I've never really seen this WrestleMania from top to bottom. I've just seen the ladder match and Bret and Owen. Never seen the main event. And as I said, enjoyed it. And Roddy Piper being the referee was great because, you know, he was at WrestleMania 1 in that same building, Madison Square Garden, so that was cool. Yeah, the finish was interesting because Yokozuna goes up for his bonsai drop from the corner, and then he just kind of goes, whoa, and falls off, and it's just like, and then Bret pins him off that. I suppose it's good in that Bret was getting his ass kicked and, you know, his knee was hurt and everything. He just wrestled a match before, and so he managed to take advantage of it, but it still was kind of like Yokozuna lost because he just made a mistake, and it's like a botch almost, even though it was planned. It looks like he, you know, oh, he fell, oh, he lost, I don't know. So I'm 50-50 on that finish, but it was cool and a nice moment when everyone came out and hoisted Bret up onto their shoulders to celebrate and everything. So, final thoughts, WrestleMania 10?
Better than last.
Definitely better than WrestleMania 9. Every WrestleMania is better than WrestleMania 9, but there you go. WrestleMania 11 is one I've never seen. I think this is the last one I've never seen, and it's apparently not that great. So yeah, we'll see you next. We'll see you next time. WrestleMania 10.
11.
11. You're right. Sorry, I botched them. Thank you for watching.